Welcome to the Human Design Festival.
Live in Sofia and online worldwide.
Okay.
Hello.
So the global cycles. And so I forgot exactly where I left off at my peripheral perspective. Any of
We're
you
saying that not to just disconnect from
this
all that has been,
hmm
but to transfer it in a good way.
right, to take it with us into the future because
Mm.
because like the way Rod delivered the message, I love Rod, like I have no qualms. You won't find me criticizing, Ra for his teachings. I accept how it was delivered and I understand fractals, so, I honor the foundation that he laid. And I also understand his unique design and the way he would deliver it. And he being an individual freak himself, he was really trying to get us ready for, what's coming. Just a big difference, different world, shocking people and stuff. And people would take the negative that he said, as if he was kind of predestining that to happen. But he was, in a way, for me, the voice was speaking through him. So I don't really critique him for a lot that he says. It's like whatever was going on mystically, he was delivering a message, a messenger. So you don't shoot the messenger. And so it was delivered to us in a way colored with Ra's design that made a lot of people, in my opinion and observation, really feel like we were the Phoenix generation, and that we had to really just be super individual and things like that. And people's mind, would take it how they take it and as far as they would take it. But for me, I feel like we're cross-planning people. And the best that we can do is honor or recognize the uniqueness of the individual and honor the uniqueness of the individual. Like that is our mutation to me for the cross of planning. But we're not cross of the sleeping phoenix mutative beings. We're not that. And so that rhetoric to me can influence people to really break free from groups and break free from working with a lot of people, because I see it in a lot of people. They would just want to be themselves, be individual. But I feel like the individual broke away from the tribe because the tribe doesn't honor the uniqueness of the individual. But if they did, the individuals would be more comfortable within the tribe and the collective. And so I feel like if we take that into this sleeping phoenix, that we will have a foundation for that these sleeping phoenix children can actually, go branch off individually on their own. But as it is right now, most people are plugged into this system that doesn't honor them. And if they don't correct those contracts, they're going to be like really bound by those terms of those contracts, or they're going to have to do something really radical to break free from it, which would probably put them in a disadvantaged position, because people talk about, the system is corrupt, but it's really not. It's our attachment to a foreign system that isn't, honoring our nature. And people don't know that we can create our own systems. And since we have human design awareness, we can make those systems nurture our nature. Because what I've observed is that the elite people, the wealthy people, it seems like in a lot of ways, human design is for the rich and the wealthy, because they can just make a decision and their whole world won't crumble beneath them. They have their finances in order. It's not no magic. It's not anything that we can't do. But the power of the Penta is to magnify, to grow. It's for our survival on the planet. Like it's like I look at it as other, birds and animals, and they work together to survive. And why would we be any different? We don't have to live in a Penta and be in a Penta 24/7, but I feel like we need to work with them and be a part of them in order to thrive. And it's just a really mundane acceptance of pentas, but now we can engineer pentas, because a lot of us are broken up from our families. We can't get them correct. So we have to link up with people at far distances. And the awareness can like get us to a point of trust a lot quicker than how we do it in the normal day-to-day life, where we have to just see if this pattern that this person is showing me is going to stick. Whereas with human design, we just get right to it shortens the time of really um, connecting with someone. And I think we're going to need that moving forward, because we, don't really have a lot of time to play, around like that, um, is what I foresee. So when I got into the financial services, it was like the missing component to what I had been studying, which was, like I said, contracts and ways to really be sovereign. It started on some really like rebellious, I was a 3-3 and I was just trying to break free from the system in any kind of way. But over time, I've become more aware and more wise about it. And I see that there are other ways as a nine-center being to get your sovereignty. But it's not branching away from all systems in society. It's the information was given to us so that we can navigate through through the chaos, through everybody else's nonsense as ourselves, not to stop it all from happening and change it and, do all that, but just for us to, correct our own processes. And so I see that, finance is not going anywhere. Like it's super important. It is a reflection of our decision making, as in entering contracts is a reflection of our awareness and our decision making. And it's just something that we were born into. We were born into this story that's unfolding. And we all get human design most of the time when we're conditioned in a negative way. We're contracted to a bunch of people and entities based on who we thought we were, or who we thought we were. And when we get human design, we have to navigate through all that. We can't, it's really radical to just be like, forget everything. I'm cutting all contracts, all ties with everybody. And most people would not go that way. So we have to use strategy and authority. And I think that helps us to navigate through it. But I feel like we have to come out of it. We have to elevate, to start to create our own contracts, give our terms, because generators, the slaves, we're supposed to give our terms. When we don't give our terms, we're subjected to the other person's terms. They lack awareness of our individuality, of our uniqueness, but we think that those terms are going to honor it. And we end up with frustration, not getting the full satisfaction of the bargain, of the usage of our life force energy.
Yeah. So we're going to replace the disintegrating tribal glue and bonds by blood with bonds by resonance. And as you say, when we say engineering the teams and working together, it doesn't necessarily have to be like exactly to look for such a person, but see how you meet people on your fractal as well.
Yeah, it's ultimately, it boils down to the contracts, because they're very powerful. Like, we just have to really accept that the influence that they have on our lives, from just the most minute level. We're, like I said, we're born into it. Our footprint is stamped on a contract from the jump, the birth certificate and other things like that. And we were, a lot of us were born during like post-war type times within countries, and the victors of certain countries were educating the other people in a certain way that would be disadvantaged, it would miseducating them, ill-advised, and giving them a generalized education, and people just grew up that way, and it just snowballed. And now we're at a point where a lot of people are realizing they want to be themselves, but they're restricted financially. And finances is a way that you take your life force energy that you earn and convert to money into a system that will grow it. Because compound interest is a creation, I believe, from the ascension of projectors, because they, running the race against the manifestors and generators, they're not going to make it. So compound interest is a way for them to quantum leap and stay ahead or stay in the race, so to speak. And if we're not honoring that key of compound interest, then our life force energy is just, which is converted to money, is not growing. And yeah, it's a lot. My synthesis nature just kind of sees a lot of the connections and a lot of that. Yeah, and it takes, I think it would take time to unravel it all. It has taken time, but with the human design community, I feel like a lot of us are getting primed for this kind of life, to be able to make a decision as ourselves, and because that's essential in living a more sovereign life. It has to be the case, because we can't rely on these other entities. We're able to rely on them less and less as the cycle, when the 4037 is gone, it's like the doing good to the other person kind of energy is going to be not the dominant thing. So it just makes sense that people would go back to self. And from a realistic perspective, like how Ra talks about the chaos, that's coming as the breakdown takes place. If people stay the same way that they are now, and we have a lot of things going on with the economy and stuff, like I can see how what he's saying would take place on that level, if people don't make the correction, or for the people who don't make those corrections. Because the powers that be, those entities who do, like they are running things, I feel like they're going to pull back, and that's what's going to be less jobs, for people, less this and that. And if people aren't able to do for self, they're going to, deal with those consequences. And so, yeah, I feel like I just wanted to bring it to the HD community, because I love the HD community. I love the knowledge, I'm part of it. And I just felt like we were kind of, like I said, being primed for it. So yeah, I know it's a timing factor. I'm a 6'3". I don't really want to be all out in the spotlight. I just really want to embody this, but I want the knowledge to get out. I want people to know.
And we would love to have you, Dawone. So, guys, those who are watching, if you resonate with him, you will have the opportunity to hear actually a very interesting lecture about human design and differentiated financial awareness. And Dawone, actually, can you tell us a few words of who is Dawone?
Oh, a right-minded person. We love those questions. But no, I am somebody who has I'm just an average person. I'm a normal guy. I just have had a certain walk through life that has seasoned me with certain information over my years. I give thanks to my father for sharing a lot of mystical, practical information with me. I went to Hawaii and bumped into human design in 2006 is when I bumped into it on the island of Maui from projector Don McKinney. If you're out there, he was a quad right projector. He actually spent about 9 months with Ra in Germany, and quad right no motors. Yeah, quad right mental projector. So it was just really fascinating to see him. But I currently am into financial services. I see that as another important tool in the world. Most people are financially illiterate by design, systematic design. And so I feel like this is a very important mission to be on. And I just love that it aligns with human design.
Mm.
But I'm a father as well, father of three beautiful children. Um, and I'm out here in the United States of America right now, but I haven't practiced my pitch, so that's what I have to say to you all. You know, I appreciate you tuning in and listening, and I would love to share more. Yeah, on stage.
And Dawone, what is your element? What is your superpower? Or what's your groove?
Research and development and inspiration, I feel, are, yeah, a couple of my superpowers.
Mm, beautiful.
So one, I was really feeling my sacral center was feeling really happy listening to you. I can say like I could
Mm,
feel like my energy grows so gently but significantly. I don't know what that is.
I could see.
It was really quite something.
Mm,
Your perspective. Thank you. I was wondering, how was it for you when you first met human design, especially this concept about not self-mind and that the mind is not there to make decisions? Was it something that was difficult to put into practice, or it was like a relief and you kind of
yeah,
got it like quickly? Because for
right.
me, it was not quickly.
um, it was not quick. I mean, it was quick to accept the concept, but it was not quick to, apply it consistently, of course. I accepted the concept because, like I was saying, my father introduced me to a lot of mystical teachings early in life. And as a 6'3", I was just all across the board, all kinds of religious faiths and occult knowledge and metaphysics and spirituality. I was just eating it all up. So, yeah, I had a lot of information about thoughts, and I have a very consciously activated ajna center. So my thought process is something that's I'm very aware of. And my father, he taught me early in life to not trust my thoughts, that my thoughts would, lead me astray.
Lucky
He
you.
didn't he didn't tell me to trust my gut though, he didn't tell me to trust my
He didn't give you
emotions.
an alternative.
Exactly. So that part was easy for me to begin to observe. And when I learned about the solar plexus being my authority, that really just really alleviated so much. I remember the moment when I experienced like ignoring a thought and just accepting the moment, and just how my emotional system, my nervous system just settled, and I just became just regulated. It was like, wow, it was that easy, to just not move when your thoughts say move. But yeah, that was fairly easy.
Mm.
Great question.
Thank you for sharing this. And would you share with us what are you most grateful about, like using this knowledge, applying it in your personal, professional life? What is your greatest benefit, so to speak?
Hmm. I would say what I get to see and what I get to learn, and really like make sense of. The awareness that I've been able to take in, I really value it. Even if a lot of it's not for me. As a defined head being, I know a lot isn't for me, but I have children and I have loved ones, and I get to share that with them, and I get to treat them, based on their nature. And it's just a really awesome experience because I get to see how rare it is, for people to really have someone honor them. Um, and experiencing it myself with like my partner or other people I get to know who's in human design is, yeah, it's really, really amazing. And I would like to, yeah, experience the compounding effect of that, you know,
Mm,
over over the years,
yeah. Was there a before and after human design for you?
Before human design.
Was there a before and after in your life when you met human design? Did it change your life or yourself or your perspective?
Yeah, it did. It changed. What did it change? I mean, it changed a lot, but as far as ultimately the acceptance of just being in this life process, and I ultimately got that point through the acceptance and I guess the comprehension of the cosmology to the degree that I comprehended. It just ultimately gave me like a no choice, but a real just surrender to this life process. Like, because a lot of people try to escape it. You know, our mind just tries to come up with all these scenarios, but it was really just the ultimate surrendering. Because before I was, just trying to figure everything out, trying to do it all myself. And afterwards, I'm just pretty much just in observation mode.
Fabulous.
Some would say you're already enlightened.
Well, guys, if you want to hear more, you can go to our website and to our social channels for more information and to get your Secure Your Pass so that you can meet other lovely speakers. And if you resonate with Dawone and he's on your fractal, you will be there. So see you soon.
Would
Bye
you
for
like
now.
to join us?
Would you?
You're invited. Thank you for now. Bye-bye.
Bye. Would you like to join us?
And truly be in your element.